Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another evening at Steve's Guitars and another live stream. Tonight we have something a little different for everybody. It's not what you might expect. We have the Academy at Steve's Guitars. This is a guitar instructional program that Mateo Sandate provides and has some amazing students, and they've all done accomplished some amazing things over the years. I've been fortunate enough to listen to many of them while they've been learning, and they're quite impressive. We also have with us tonight the premiere performance at Steve's Guitars of Sweet Root, which is a band that Mateo is part of. And we also have in front of you now the Roaring Fork High School Classical Guitar Ensemble, which is yet another extension of Mateo's wonderful talents. So please join us in appreciating our sponsors, GrassRoots TV, First Bank of Carbondale, High Society Free Ride, and we want to send a special shout out to Steve and Mary Margaret Standiford for having this amazing space, which allows us to do these wonderful musical events. We need to send a shout out to Jeremy Eisenhart from GrassRoots, for without him, none of this would have gone down. And of course, Mountain Maze, who's upstairs doing our video production. Without any further ado, I'd like to turn you all over to Mateo Sandate.
Nice. Hey, thanks you guys. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks you guys. Thanks so much for being here. May it be a wonderful night of guitars. I mean, it's already that, just right there, that's enough, right? Right. So, yeah. You guys ready? Yeah. Okay. This is actually their final exam, so yeah. A plus. Yeah, I think the grade comes from you guys, so yeah, a little thing. Nice. Yeah, welcome to Steve's Guitars, where rowdy is the way. So you guys are part of this too. That tune was a 12-bar blues based off of a Robert Johnson blues. Robert Johnson was like the grandfather of kind of like a lot of American music, and of course the blues. Deep roots in everything we do, pretty much. much musically, thanks to Robert Johnson. So, yeah. This next tune is called Protest March, in honor of the times. That was a tune called Protest March, and hopefully you felt and heard the march there. And there's nothing like the feeling of solidarity when we're all within the same sense of value. And it's wonderful to see you guys out here tonight in the sense of supporting not only each other, but the music and the community. So these guys are pretty, this ensemble is pretty amazing because the class, I don't know if it's officially a class or not, I stay out of that stuff, but I just focus on the music. But it starts before school. So it's, I guess, a class before school starts. And so it says a lot for you guys to be here and showing up day in, day out before school even starts. And because it's before school starts, teachers are allowed to be a part of the ensemble too. So it's pretty cool to have teachers and students all as one, right? Yeah. What are we doing? close with one last number. And before we do that, I guess we're missing a couple others, or maybe at least two more that I know. Maisa, if you're watching and streaming in, gosh, we miss you, but we're looking forward to next year and you joining the advanced ensemble. You just keep getting better. I think a lot of us maybe had never played guitar before. And not only that, are you playing guitar, you're reading music, and you're playing. So good work, you guys. Yeah. This next tune is a tune that was a mantra, pretty much, a field holler, field chant by Cesar Chavez, Dolores Huerta, folks coming together in solidarity, just asking to be treated with the dignity we all deserve. It's called De Colores. It was the theme song for the American Farm Labor Movement. One second. Oh my gosh, and Adiel is not here as well. Adiel, if you are tuning into this wherever you are in the world, Adiel, I'm not sure where you are.
El Salvador.
El Salvador, I pray you are held in the warmth you deserve. So, yeah. The Roaring Fork Guitar Ensemble, everybody. Yeah. We're going to make a quick transition and invite Spencer Hazelton up. If anybody's interested to help with music stands. Yeah. All right. Yep. Yeah, feel free to... Yeah, okay, great. We're ready to roll. Okay, got it. We're on. All right. Yeah. Hi. Hi. Good to see you. Yeah. Okay. 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 Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Thanks for letting us take that nice intermission. We have a pretty awesome, stellar guitarist coming up here next. He's one of 2 guitarists in the Academy that's been a sponsored artist by D'Angelico. Not everybody gets that privilege. Yeah, so Spencer. Yeah, we've been able to work through the years on all kinds of stuff, and I think, gosh, you know, the world is your apple. So I'm glad we got to work in the ways we could and the ways we have. And I wish you well. Because of that, Spencer's moving. His whole family's moving far, far away. So he gets 3 tunes. Everyone else gets 2. So yeah. Yeah. Woo! Yeah. All right. And remember, this is Steve's Guitars, you guys. If you like something good, like a solo or a sound or a groove, it's okay to let everybody know. Is that all right? All right. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Great. Let's just hit a chord, a D sound. Just make sure we're in tune. Awesome. Spencer Hazelton, everybody. Spencer Hazelton. Spencer, tell us what was that? Those are like, we've probably heard of John Coltrane. You know, that's like John Coltrane level stuff. So congrats, Spencer. Yeah. What's next?
What's next is Blue Bossa by... Just a second.
Drum roll.
Oh, Blue Bossa by Kenny Dorham.
Hey! Yeah, all right. Great. So we're going to close out the set with this tune. And yeah, everybody, Spencer Hazelton. Yeah. Hazelton! All right. Hats are flying off. Cool. Thank you. Yeah. We're going to do a quick transition and get John and his lovely wife out, Alicia out here. I'm so excited about this. And one more time for Spencer. Gosh. Yeah, thank you. Great, great. Come on out, John and Alicia. Can I give this to you? Actually, I'm going to need it later. So I'll. Yeah, that sounds good. Hey, John. Yeah, go and get your net settled. We got to get you a chair. Hey, let me get your guitar. Yep. Great. Great. Good? Hey, that chair, yeah, or maybe you can feel free to put it out there. Someone might want it. Yeah. Hey, John, give me one of these. Yeah. And I've got the stand here too, if needed. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. And here is your cable right here. Oh. We can probably keep it right here. Do you see a purple block around? Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, that's perfect right there. Yeah, get your nest up. Oh, thank you so much. My music flew the coop. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to look on with you. Yeah. Feel free to warm up. I'll take your tempos. Yeah. Hey everybody. We're gonna get back on. Thanks so much for letting us transition. Yeah, good to see you. All of you guys. Gosh, this is really sweet. So many different folks coming out from the community, far and wide. Some faces I haven't seen in a long time. Thank you so much to come out to tonight's guitar gathering. It's a celebration, really. I keep telling everybody this is not a performance, this is play. You were celebrating song. The songs that all the guitarists here at the Academy have worked to prepare. Over the course of a semester's worth of study, guitarists pick a few goals, and we work our way towards them. And it's not only about the songs, but it's about learning how to pick a goal and find creative ways to reach your goal. And then also practice schedules and organization. And for creative minds, organization is really important. So things like that might not seem related to music at all. And so to me, these guitarists are really reflection of what it means to pursue harmony. And the world, I believe, is asking us more than ever to live open-heartedly with each other, with ourselves, and more than ever asking of us harmony. Harmony. So, yeah, I believe these guitarists are helping us witness what that looks like to follow one's joy and the harmony that comes from that. So yeah, thanks for being a part of the celebration. And at any time, if you like something, you know what to do, right? Yeah. And oftentimes it can be a really foreign thing to be on a stage with all of a sudden just away from your people. And there's no better way to have a sense of connection than the call and response. Give a little, get a little, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's one big secret of music that we went into in music class this week. Call and response. Yeah. This is one of my favorite people around, working to save the world in so many ways. We were joking before you all got here that he just got back from a world tour. It was before the pandemic. I never knew where John was going to be. China, Europe, I kid you not. But I'm so glad he's here in our community. We have not only explored a lot, we've traveled throughout the world musically too. So John always brings the kitchen sink as well. Just everything from Brazil to jazz. And the flamenco tonight. So yeah. So without further ado, Sir John Creeds. Oh, and literally, we haven't seen each other in about a month. So he has been traveling, and this next tune is...
It's Fandangos de Huelva. Fandangos. So it's a fandango. In Spain, every little community in the southern part of Spain in particular has its own flamenco sound that goes to it. So this is from a port city called Huelva, and we're just going to do a little, you'll see a lot of little flourishes called rasgueados in it. So.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, John.
So from Spain to jazz again. We had Spencer warm us up there. But
Yeah.
We'll do classic here.
Great. So we are going to do, classic means John Coltrane. Oh, sorry, jazz joke. But this is a John Coltrane tune, though.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I really loved how you incorporated it into your work too. You told me one day how this was like the theme for your work meeting across the world.
One of my colleagues, Brant, was there for us.
Wow. All right, Brant. Thanks for coming out. Nice. There's a mic right there. That's John playing John Coltrane. John Coltrane. Yeah. Nice. We had a nice addition to our duet here a couple weeks ago. And it was one of the most lovely treats, best musical experiences I've had yet together, when John's wife, Alicia, joined us. So there was an opportunity for her to join us tonight, and I said, yes, let's do this. So they're going to do something really special, a husband and wife duet. Please invite Alicia.
You're going to play, no?
Okay, sure. Okay. Yes. Yes. Please give it up for Alicia, everybody. Yes. Yeah. Whatever feels most comfortable. We were actually across the street playing at Ashikawa, and then I've heard you've already got a gig from that, so congrats.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Jeez,
forgot.
you never know. Yeah. Awesome. What are we playing?
So we're playing Con los años que me quedan, which is a Gloria Estefan song, which means with the years that I have left. So it's a love song, which my wife and I just celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary on the night of the shindig across the street, which also happened to be Mateo's birthday. So we had lots of celebration.
Años que me quedan, yo viviré por darte amor, barrando cada dolor con besos llenos de pasión, como te amé por vez primera. Con los años que me quedan, cualquier error. tienes fe en mí, que como yo te amé, mas nadie te podrá amar jamás. Dime que no es el final. Sé que aún me queda una oportunidad. Sé que aún no es tarde para recapacitar. Sé que nuestro amor es verdadero. Y con los años que me quedan por vivir, demostraré cuánto te quiero. Sé que nuestro amor es verdadero. Y con los años que me quedan por vivir, demostraré cuánto te quiero. Cuánto te quiero.
John and Alicia, everybody. Wow. Happy 20th anniversary. You guys have a band. Yeah. Congrats. We're, yeah, you're so welcome. We're going to get our next guitarist out here. Interestingly enough, when we were celebrating y'all's 20th anniversary and my birthday, we were celebrating an inauguration as well. An inauguration. So, without further ado, I'd like to get Benny B. No longer town trustee. Yeah. And we will have the lovely Jamie joining us as well on vocals. Woo! Would you? Yeah, feel free to create your guys if you want to sit in the middle of the bus.
Bring this up here, Mateo, because she wants to stand up.
Yep, that's great.
Just lift it up here.
Yep. I just want to make sure this makes it to Ben, so watch your foot there. And that goes to Ben. Ash. it's been a wonderful night already. So let's please just give it up for all the guitars that have come out here before. I think each and every one of the guitars here is just such a representation or just a reflection of what it means and what it looks like to pursue one's joy in life and harmony. We call it music, but hey, let's be real. It's the only thing that gets between and through any consciousness, any culture, any kind of community boundaries, whatever that we might have created. Music just is, it gets everywhere. So may it be reaching you tonight and those that are tuning in online. This wouldn't be possible to have this guitar gathering with the Academy here at Steve's Guitars without the vision of Steve and Mary Margaret to have a venue many years ago. So if we could just please give them a hand.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah,
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah. And as well, if it sounds good and it looks good on the live stream for all those out there, that's because we got a good crew here. So we've got Ralph Pitt on the sound and everything you're experiencing here in this room. So just give him a hand. And we've got Mountain Maze upstairs, giving some love from above.
Thanks, Mountain.
On all the audio AV video productions. So thanks you guys, and thank you Steve and Mary Margaret. It's amazing what happens when we lean in a little bit with love. All right, thank you. I mentioned a couple weeks ago, not only were we celebrating a wedding anniversary, a birthday, we are also celebrating an inauguration.
I think it's a swearing in. It's not an inauguration.
We had an official swearing in at Ashikawa, and we did official swearing in things. So so I can no longer say Benny B. Town Trustee. It doesn't rhyme anymore.
Sorry.
Yes. So tonight we have Ben, our new mayor. Yeah. And lovely, sultry sounding voice, Jamie. Yes, let's give her. We're going to sing a set of songs tonight.
All I'll say is thank you, Jamie, for singing for me.
So grateful. So grateful to share some love with you all.
Can we all just take a deep breath?
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to rise.
That's right. That is the spirit here. Yeah. And yes. There's no show here tonight. There's only sharing. Okay. Yeah. It's been an honor to work with Ben for wow, just through many songs and many styles of music. And tonight, for all the guitar geeks out there, Ben is demonstrating a really sweet guitar style technique called fingerstyle guitar, where you're not using a pick. Well, yeah, all you guys, you're welcome in. Gosh, there's a whole fleet of people out there. But when we start using all 5 digits, right? You know, it's like it's enough walking with 2 legs. Imagine if you had 5 legs, right? But yeah, you're doing that on the guitar, okay? Instead of just doom, you got all this going on. So it's pretty phenomenal to get to a point where you can express musically using the fingerstyle technique. And I'd say, Ben, you got it.
Got it, Ben.
Great. What are we going to do? Georgia. Okay. Yeah, let's just kick it off before we sorry. Sounds good. Okay, see if you guys recognize this one.
Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Georgia, Georgia, a song of you comes as sweet and clear as moonlight through the pines. Other arms reach out to me, other eyes smile tenderly. Still in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. I said, Georgia, Georgia, no peace I find, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
the mayor. We're going to do one more.
Here, wait. I'll get this.
Yes. And while that mic is getting shifted, gosh, you guys, thank you so much for bringing the sultry music. I think you guys have a band too.
I know. I think we need to put that together.
Yeah. And I just want to give a shout out to all of those family members, parents, friends, grandparents, all of the community that help our guitarists come to the sessions every week and study. It takes a team, it takes a community, and gosh, you guys are representative of that. So it's a really important thing that we just honor all those that are the reason of why we're here. And so, Megan, thank you for allowing Ben to study. Oh my gosh, I could keep going on and on and on. But I won't because it's Ben's time.
We should say thanks to Mateo, though, because without him, none of this would be happening. Thank you, Mateo.
And I got a shout out to my mom and dad. My dad just moved to Georgia. So Georgia crew and family out there, sending love to you. Also to Mom and Katie and everyone, your graduation tonight in Texas. I hope it's going well.
I'll do a mom and dad shout out. Two of my parents were supposed to be here tonight, but COVID delayed plans, as everyone has experienced at some point. So I think they're streaming in. So, hey. See you soon. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, it's a little Doc Watson song. I've been learning a lot of Doc Watson the last few years. If you're ever interested in fingerstyle guitar, listen to Doc Watson.
I need to make a point too, because we studied Doc Watson extensively, kind of, you know.
Yeah.
And there was a video with guitarists, kind of like Ray Charles, but he played guitar, and he shared about this tune. It took him 10 years to get to the point to be able to play it. Ben, you did it in like 3 months.
Well, Doc Watson wrote it though, so. But yeah, he said he had heard it on 2 guitars and he wanted to put it together on 1 guitar, right? Yeah.
So this is pretty revolutionary tune of everything that's going on. Ben, no longer town trustee, our new mayor, Bumfock. And Jamie. Yes. we're going to transition and get our next guitarist out here, Casey. So come on out, Casey. And then, we're going to get Oriana and Sweet Root up after Casey. So we're winding down the night. It's been a wonderful night. And there's one guitarist that could not make it tonight. TJ, if you're joining on live stream,
Right there.
for where this goes, for that, Ash, could you lift that stand up a little bit? Thank you so much, Eric.
While we were getting set up, I wanted to share, we heard a little "Hey Mama" over there. Can we hear that again? Hey Mama! I just want to celebrate that Oriana is going to sing a song with us. She's a mother of 4 beautiful children who still found time to sing and find music. So that's a miracle right there. Yeah, I want to celebrate that. I also wonder if anybody's looked in their blue bags. Has anybody looked in there? Little presents from Mateo for. You have a baseball in there? What's the baseball for, Mateo?
Yeah, I like that. Thanks, Matt.
So what do we have? We have some ideas. Why would you get a baseball for being in a guitar academy? Strikes. Yeah, 3 strikes on this stage and you're out. I don't think so. I talked to Mateo into the baseball thing. And I was reminded of a story in my family. Baseball was big in my family. My dad was actually a sophomore in high school. The Phillies came to watch him pitch. So it was always like, oh yeah, baseball. Anyway, one of my cousins later in life was a good pitcher. And I read an article by her that was just tremendous about a coach who worked with her. She got a scholarship or was like #1 in state, something like that. And they went and interviewed both her and her coach, and they asked the coach, like, hey, you've had her since she was 7 or 8 years old. What did you do? And he said, I let her pitch wild for as long as she needed to. We lost games and games and games. He said it took about 4 years before he even mentioned the strike zone to her. So if anybody's coached, there's parent pressure on like, our team sucks. Like, why don't you get that pitcher out of there? But he held strong with her and he let her pitch wild. And he said, you can always find the strike zone after you find your power. But you cannot find your power if you're focused on the strike zone first. So I just wanted to commend all of you for coming up and pitching whatever happened tonight and just doing that in life and finding your voice and your power and sharing that with everybody. Yeah, thank you. also want to say you might hear a few wild pitches. You can celebrate those, okay?
I love it. Yeah, celebration now is all about wild pitching, so thank you. This is a group called Sweet Root. And I love each one here. Each one has their own unique wisdom and mastery of what they do. And together, we're Sweet Root. We made a debut at Mountain Fair last year for a feature set, the gospel set. And it was just really, I think, life-changing for some of us in a way of like, wow, yes. It was a yes. It's like, it's amazing what happens when we follow our yeses. Yeah, and it's a real treat to be joined with Oriana tonight. We have worked towards unearthing her voice in so many ways, and she brought this tune to us, and I think it's going to become a staple for what we do. So, yeah.
The only guitarist without a guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I'm holding one and I'm not going to play it. Do you want to just hold one?
I'm not there yet. A couple more semesters.
Thanks everybody for coming out tonight. Beautiful to see you all. Thank you. And if you want to, like, you know, stand up for the 7th Indian stretch right now, you're welcome to do it. It's a good song for it.
Everybody. Yes, yes. Woo! Yeah. Nice. Wow. That felt great. Let's keep that going. Yeah.
So this next song is about the moon, and I learned it in a wheat field in eastern Washington 30 years ago with maybe you.
Oh my gosh, we gotta share that story. That's like endearing.
This is my friend Audrey we used to live in College House together in Walla Walla, Washington.
You guys were swimmers. And now I get to work with your son and guitar. Like, how did this happen?
So anyway, maybe we learn this together. See if you recognize it. Sweet. This is an Irish, a traditional Irish song, and we've kind of
Sweetified.
jazzed it up.
And this is a new guitar. We just got to do a little guitar checky.
Oh yeah. Okay. The moon's getting pretty big right now. Yeah. the next song is a special song. Were you wanting to introduce this one?
No, I mean, no.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Well, this next one, I like it. Yeah. I did bring a picture of it. So I don't know, at home, those viewers out there across the world, this is an instrument that this song is based off of called the Nayatiti. And this is a picture I took at the most recent exhibit at the Denver Museum of Natural History and Science. They had an exhibit called The Guitar, the instrument that rocked the world. And I think they're right. I mean, it was just like, wow, it's kind of like going into Steve's Guitars. It was like, wow. But like on a global level, okay? And they had all the guitarists that have really made a difference from Colorado featured. And one of my favorites, Bill Frisell. Oh my gosh, Bill, I love you. Someday I want to study with you, okay? But they had this right at the very top, and it was just so heart-opening for me. I could actually feel my heart expanding throughout the whole exhibit. Just really reinforcing and showing that, wow, what we're doing, these instruments have changed the world. I think since the guitar has come on the scene, the world has not been the same since. And then we plugged in 60 years ago or so, with the electric guitar, and wow, we're in the electric era, and who knows what's next.
So tell them what the Nayatiti is.
Thank you. Yeah, I could keep going and going and going and going. Yeah, thank you so much. So this next song was written on the Nayatiti and by a composer called Ayub Ogada. We've all studied him in different ways. This is not his instrument, but this instrument is thought to be the oldest ancestor of the guitar. This one is thought to be over 3,000 years old right here. But the body... Where is it from? Eastern Kenya. And the song that we're going to do is an East African traditional song about calling in the rain. Okay, so may it work for us too. And so it was played on this song. I played on this instrument. I'm going to pass this around so you guys can see this. And I'm going to play the Nayatiti part on this.
Such a beautiful song. I saw an interview, and they were saying how this gentleman is a minimalist in sounds, how many sounds he's sharing, but that those few sounds just expand and expand. So beautiful celebration of a song for the rain. We have Gabriella here, smiling at you. Ashton is sitting back here with his best friend, the bass. And Eric, I'm in Eric's way, but he's behind me playing the drums. And we all know Mateo over here. And my name is Michelle, and we are Sweet Root. The next song that we would love to share with you, we have a lot of water songs. This one is a tribute to a deity in Orisha from the Yoruba tradition, so Afro-Cuban song.
Aja, who's not here tonight, as our third vocalist. Aja, if you're tuning in, sending love to you. She brought it to us, and her father learned it from the Santeria in Cuba. Santeria meaning saintly.
And the song is to Oshun. Oshun is the Orisha of fertility, water, love. Do we have time for a story or not? Do you guys have time for a story? Oh, story time. Okay. There's a beautiful story about how, and I'm not totally practiced in this tradition, so I'm apologize if I make little tumbles here and there. But there are a lot of orishas that came down. There's kind of like the head one, the big god, and then a lot of orishas that came down to the earth to do things. Love, Oshun being one of them. Well, all of the other orishas were doing things, very practical, getting things done, and they're like, what does she do? She was the only lady. What does she do? And they eventually just ignored her and sent her off, and she went to the moon. And she just enjoyed herself and waited because she knew. And then one day all of the orishas said to the big god, nothing is working. Everything we're trying to make happen, nothing is happening. And the big god came down and said, who's missing? And they said, oh yeah, well, Oshun's up on the moon. And he said, you need to call her down and apologize. And so they brought her down, and she said, one time, I'll come back one time when you apologize. And so this song to bring Oshun in for, actually, I would like to actually change that and say, can we all have a peace of mind of gratitude for a moment when water served us, when love served us, and when fertility brought abundance into our life? And we'll sing to you while you think of that.
Thank you all so much. It's been a treat to debut what we do here with you. We're Sweet Root. We actually haven't seen each other in about 6 months. I kid you not. This is the first time we're doing this, and it's live on stage.
I thought we were trying to keep it a secret.
Sorry. You know me in secrets. Gosh, you know, like you give me the secret to music, I'm gonna share it. Gosh, but we're gonna rehearse tomorrow. So I don't understand it, but it's working. I know it's true. Yeah.
We like to play shows first.
Yeah.
We had people moved out of town, so that's why. It's not because we're not practicing. It's because we're geographically been separated. Yeah.
So this is exciting for us.
Yeah.
It's like I'm hearing us. Yeah. Thank you for hearing us.
But we sound like we're connected, right?
We have one last song for you. And this was a song that I was asked to learn from the other Orisha, Oriana. To take down to Costa Rica and share Nosara. And I remember it. It was, oh my gosh, we flew in, and it was this amazing drive, and then it got dark, an amazing sunset, and it was just like this the whole time. And we got to I didn't know where we were. It was pitch black. I only knew how beautiful it was until we woke up the next day. It was like, oh my gosh. But there were some local musicians there, and we drove right onto the beach. The waves were breaking, and we just did the most obvious thing. We went into the ocean. I happen to have my guitar. It's like, yeah, if I'm going in the ocean, this is coming with me. And so we just sang and sang and sang and sang and sang and sang music while this beautiful full-ish moon was rising over the ocean. And I started to play these chords. And the locals they all stopped. It's like, you know that song? I said, yeah. And it was really proof to me that music, what we get to do, transcends any barriers or boundaries that we might put up culturally in our communities, in our countries, and for sure our consciousness. And so this next song is all about the sacredness of water. It's called Aguas de Estrellas.
If you know it, sing it with us.
So Mateo's done a lot tonight, right? We saved the most labor-intensive song for him for the very end. So we'll see how that goes. Sweet Root. Do we share that?
I think you gotta geez, that's like, feel free to. It's asked.
You asked, yeah. There's a really special spruce tree in this town, in this village that we love. And that's where we met for most of COVID to play music. And we just created a relationship with the tree. And when we were looking for a name, it felt important to include the tree as a part of it. So the tree is sweet. The tree has roots. I'm really sweet. So that was obvious. No, everybody's sweet here.
No, and it was like there was at that time there were more. We weren't as sweet, there weren't as many members, and so we would just sit around the tree, and it was like we were being nurtured, and songs would come to us, and it was just like, wow, what is this? And the tree is a part of the group too. And that's what we are as far as Sweet Root. We have an intention to be a loving presence through a sound known as sweet root, giving rise to community, experienced as awe and wonder and joy. And a lot of that is a reflection of our home and the mother that takes care of us all.
You asked.
Tus ojos agua infinita, se bañan las estrellitas, mamá. En tus ojos agua infinita, se bañan las estrellitas, mamá.
song. Thank you so much.
We are Sweet Root. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Stephen, Mary Margaret. Thank you to the guitarists and here at the Academy, Ralph and Mountain, and all of you guys.
Thank
that
you to
made this
Mateo.
happen.
Thank you for everything that, from Ralph to Steve to, who's upstairs, Mountain? Who are creating a casual musical community where you don't have to be an amazing professional digitalized person. You can just have fun singing with people. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah. All right, thank you. Good night. Good night at home and online. Thank you so much.